Hello everyone, my name is Stuart Pretty. I'm the Technical Manager at Steadfast Solutions. I'd like to thank everyone for coming today regarding our webinar on saving money with new innovative technologies. While this isn't a technical deep dive on each of the products, I'd like to give everyone a high-level overview of how they can save you money, but with a technical background. Any questions, feel free to get as technical as you want. I should be able to answer them for you. Are you looking for new technology that makes life easy and saves you money at the same time? What we're going to specifically discuss today is Office 365 and how the products within Office 365 can help you collaborate, communicate, and create. So some of you may be using Office 365 today, and majority of those people would likely be using the Exchange components of that. What we'd like to do today, though, is look into some of the other components and how they can help make your life easier and open up communication within your office. The Office 365 suite of products really is a communication and collaboration suite, enabling your staff to work with both internal and external parties over a number of different collaboration mediums: email, instant messaging, voice, video, presentations, and document collaboration. Microsoft Office 365. So the savings are immediate. So what most people are used to is every few years they get a big bill for the setup of a server that includes an email server, most likely going to be Microsoft Exchange. And every time you buy a computer, you're hit with an upfront copy of Microsoft Office that's in the hundreds of dollars each time, and you don't know how long that computer's going to last. With Microsoft Office 365, they do that a different way. So on a monthly basis, you're paying for only the licensing you need. So for each person you bring on board, you only pay per month for what that person actually requires. If that person is to leave your company, then you stop paying the license immediately. So straight away, you're not hit with those big bills, and you may or may not use the licensing. Microsoft Office Suite, as I said, you can buy it on a per month basis rather than spending the hundreds of dollars each time that you use your computer. So if the computer's not in use for 6 months, you don't have to pay for Office while that computer's not in use. Microsoft Exchange. Now, Microsoft have ceased the sale of Microsoft Small Business Server, and now the costs of Microsoft Exchange have gone up several times over. So this negates the need for spending the high amounts of licensing on Microsoft Exchange, keeping you up to date without spending time and money on installing updates and patches. This is all handled by Microsoft on the back end. So they look after your Skype server updates, they look after your SharePoint server updates, and they look after your Exchange server updates. Allowing collaboration in the following ways. Cloud collaboration allows for real-time editing of documents within SharePoint. You can collaborate on different documents within Skype, and of course you can email them through Microsoft Exchange. So chat-based meetings, I'm sure everyone's aware of instant messaging type applications, but this brings it to an enterprise level. So you've got integration with all your contact lists and your calendars and your emails and all the things that you would use as part of your normal everyday business. And now you can collaborate with them in real time as part of a presentation, allowing easy communication in the following ways: email, calendar sharing, instant messaging tools, all part of the desktop client. So everyone's probably used to Outlook. This also brings on Skype for Business, which is your instant messaging component. And providing the mobile client means that you can take Skype for Business as well as your emails, contacts, and calendars with you wherever you are. So you can make a phone call or do a video chat session or just do via their Skype app rather than paying the traditional rate. So if you've got salespeople that are constantly overseas, or your boss has gone on holidays, you can still get in touch with them without paying overseas rates and still get fantastic call quality. Microsoft are currently in the process of finding SIP partners to allow Skype to become your complete phone system. While this is already in place in America, they're still just getting that off the ground in Australia. So that's going to allow you to call anyone on any device as if it was just a general phone call from within Skype for Business. Video chat means you can save staff time and money by conferencing them into meetings to speak face-to-face rather than driving into an office or arranging for meeting locations for everyone to get together and do face-to-face meetings. We found this is great for sales staff they're always on the road, or they might be working from home, or they might be working interstate. So you still get the feel of being able to see each other and speak face-to-face, but without the big costs of traditional video conferencing units or moving people all around the country. Allowing collaboration in the following ways. So as I said, speak to face with one or more people over Skype, so you can do a weekly sales meeting with people regardless of where they are, not dragging them into the office at 7 a.m. to make sure everyone's available at the same time. And you can also do presentations. So share a document within Skype so everyone can see it and work on it at the same time, collaborate on that document so you can get everyone's feedback. That's one of the bigger hindrances of video collaboration, that you can't share the document and work on it in real time. With Skype, you can present the document to everyone and have everyone work on it and get their input via voice or video. Allowing easy communication in the following ways. As I said, meetings and presentations can be done over Skype, sharing documents, video, voice. Skype mobile client can give you the same functionality as the computer application, is available for Apple, Samsung and Windows device. So that's going to cover pretty much every smart mobile device you've got out there. They can all be on the road and be involved in the meeting just by their mobile phone. Staff visibility. This is one that we've seen the clients tend to like a lot, is that Skype will integrate with your calendar in Outlook. So people can see directly through Skype instantaneously whether they're in a meeting or whether they're away from their desk. Where this works well is especially for people at reception. So they're taking calls and someone says, is this person available? Immediately through Skype, they can see whether they're at the desk, whether they're in a meeting, how long they're going to be, or even if they're available to take the call. When people are familiar with the product, they're more likely to use it. Skype's a very user-friendly interface. If you've ever used instant messaging before, it looks very similar. You've got your lists of contacts in there, and what Skype for Business does is it just allows for more options with those people. So more enterprise options of the screen sharing, the document sharing, the video conferencing of multiple users. Microsoft SharePoint. I'm not sure how many people have used this in the past, but Microsoft SharePoint's a big enterprise product, and it's essentially a web-based way, at its base, a web-based way of sharing documents. Now, there are a lot more things you can do with it. You can create workflows, so if one person fills out one document, that can flow on to the next person, give a notification, they can do their part of the document. It can create some very complex workflows, but today I just want to keep it basic and discuss the fact that it's a website that you can share all your files, all your folders, just as if they were a network drive, so that you can have access to them from anywhere. So documents can be worked on by multiple users. They have a system called checking out. So if you go into the page and someone's currently working on the document, it'll actually tell you this person is currently working on the document, and that's live. So they've currently got the document open, working on it. And will then give you the option: do you want to wait, or do you want to integrate your changes when that person's finished? So you can have multiple people working on this document at the same time without causing issues of people saving over the top of each other. Version control means that automatically you have multiple versions of the document straight away. So if some person changes something and it's incorrect, or a document gets wiped, you can easily, by yourself, without getting IT involved, restore the previous version of that document and see what changes were made and restore it if required. Integrated security, so each person has their own login account. The login account means that we can lock down access to files on a per user basis. So just like your current method of network drives, and you might have accounts that you only want to allow access to the accounts team, management that you only allow access to the management team. You can do the same within SharePoint and really lock down who has access to what data and who can even read or write to that document. Document integrity. So documents, it's a little bit of a contradiction of what I said before, but they can only be edited by a single person concurrently. What I mean is that the two people editing the same document won't write over the top of each other. What it can do is allow the changes to be integrated after the first person saves the document. The checkout system, this goes back onto the first point, the checkout system allows multiple people to work on the same documents. That's essentially just the document checks out and allows the changes to be implemented once the document's checked back in. Access your documents from anywhere. Cloud-based system means that anywhere that you have an internet connection and a compatible browser, and that's across Windows, Mac, mobile devices, pretty much anything you can imagine, you can access SharePoint from and access your documents. So if someone says, here's a link to an internal document, they can just send you a link to a website that you can access from anywhere. So you pull out your mobile phone, click on the link, it's going to bring up your login screen, log in, and you're accessing the document anywhere. If someone asked you to do that with a document that was stored on a file server within your office, I think you'd have a lot of trouble trying to open that document. Documents can be downloaded for offline viewing. If you have large documents that you may want to read on the train when you've got a bit of peace and quiet on the way to work, you can download that document, read through it, and upload it again later if you need to make any changes. External party access. Now, this is fantastic. Previously, providing people access to internal drives that did not come from your company was quite a process. I mean, they need to have a computer that can speak to your server. They need to have a user account set up. Now you can just get the email address that they would like to use, register that in your server, and that will provide a temporary account for them to access a specific document. So you can provide them temporary access, send them a link to the document you want to provide them access to. They can open that link, log in with the email address that they provided you, and access that information. Microsoft Exchange. So this is the one that most people are probably most familiar with. They've probably experienced it in their own office at some point in time. I'm not going to go into too much detail onto what Microsoft Exchange is, but I want to discuss the differences between Microsoft Exchange within your office compared to Microsoft Exchange within Office 365. So there's significant cost savings. So you don't need to pay an IT team to manage an email server. You don't have to pay them to install patches on a mail server installation. You don't need to worry about antivirus for a mail server. You don't have to worry about specific backup software for a mail server. This is all handled by the Microsoft team at Microsoft Office 365. The Microsoft provides access to global infrastructure, and what I say there is they've got data centers all over the world. So you're not at risk where if your office loses internet connection, there goes your emails until your internet comes back up. If there's a power outage in your area, you lose access to all your emails until the power comes back up. So anyway you have an internet connection, you are going to be able to access your emails. So if there's a complete power outage, you've still got your mobile phone, you're still operational. These are the sort of things that small and medium businesses just don't have access to, being able to install their mail servers in different data centers all over the world. If you were to go and speak to your IT company and say, we want a geographically redundant mail solution that never goes down, I think you'd get a huge shock at the number of commas in the quote that they send you. and you've got no high upfront costs. So we were discussing before that your licensing is done on a per user basis each month. So the first month, all you're paying for is those user licenses for that month, and that's the same month on, month off. Data access. If you're not familiar with Exchange, Exchange actually allows you to keep all your data synchronized, or all your devices synchronized for mail, contacts, and calendars. So if you've got a mobile phone and you've got Outlook and you've got webmail, if you make a change to one of them, you send an email from one of the devices, it's going to appear in your sent items across all your devices. If you create a calendar entry on your mobile device, you're going to see that calendar entry on your computer, on your webmail. So it means that all your devices are always in sync, and you don't have to try and manage synchronizing those devices manually. Share calendars and mailboxes within your company, so you can have things like a calendar for vacation leave. So everyone has their vacation leave in a calendar. It's visible to everyone, so everyone knows when people are going to be in and out of the office. You could be sharing calendars for boardrooms. So if you want to schedule time in a boardroom for meetings or clients or anything like that, you can create a shared calendar to book out that boardroom. Shared mailboxes, so you might have generic mailboxes like an info at your company or accounts at your company that's shared within the accounts department. That means everyone can share that mailbox and see the changes in real time that are happening to that mailbox. As we said before, access your data via Outlook, mobile devices, or webmail from anywhere that you have compatible device and an internet connection. Data protection, your emails are backed up in the cloud, so you don't have to worry about that. You don't need to pay a lot of money for Exchange-specific backup software that means that you can restore an individual email. That's all handled by Microsoft. You don't have to worry about how much data all your emails are taking up, because that's all handled by Microsoft. Microsoft currently offer a 50 gig per mailbox limit. Now that's a huge mailbox, and they're even in talks at the moment. They're rolling out 100 gig limits for mailboxes. Now that's just an extraordinary size to supply data for emails. If you were to turn around to your IT company and say, everyone in our company wants 100 gig emails, what's that going to cost us? That's going to be a lot of money. So as I said before, data held in multiple servers in different locations. They've got data centers in Sydney, Singapore, United States, China, everywhere you can think of. But your actual data is all stored in Australia. So that means for people in the financial industry, you'll still be compliant because your data won't be held overseas. So that's the overview of Office 365 and how that can help your business. If you've got any questions, feel free to post them. 1300 739 335, and you can speak to someone here about any sort of solutions, whether that be Office 365 or anything else. The sales will primarily get you obviously through to the sales department. There is info, which can also provide you alternative support. You can also get us online. So if you go to our website, steadfastsolutions.com.au, we do have an inquiry form that you can send your inquiries through and get an answer that'll get sent to the specific department that's best to handle your query. Thank you, everyone.